alias.com.
This is the morning brief from the Economic Times, produced in collaboration with alias.com.
দরজা বন্ধ, নতুন দ্বন্দ্ব, ওষুধ নষ্ট, পরভোজি আমি শকুন জব্দ, দুহাতে অস্ত্র কিন্তু ব্যবহারটা নিষিদ্ধ, আমি নিরাকার দেবতার পূজা করি, অবতারটা নৃসিংহ, আমার শিরাকার।
I got introduced to the world of Cizzy through a friend, and honestly, I was blown after I listened to his groovy 2020 track Change Hobe Puro Scene, and have been a fan ever since. I finally met the artist, songwriter, singer, producer last week during my travel to Kolkata for the West Bengal elections. But I realized that he's the leader of many a men, some as young as class 12 students who rap, hustle, beatbox, and cypher. Well, that's the hip-hop jargon for meeting or a catch-up every weekend. Likewise, it was my colleague Bhavya Dilip Kumar, my guide for anything Tamil, films or music, who introduced me to the Ghana of Arivu. You all must have heard him from his recent popular song Enjoy Enjaami, which saw around 19 million views on YouTube in just 1 week. It's Friday, 9th of April. From the Economic Times, this is Arijit Barman, and you are listening to the Morning Brief. Rap or hip-hop has always been political, from Beastie Boys to Tupac, from the Notorious Big to Eminem and Linkin Park. But I was pleasantly surprised when I learned that even in India, across states like Punjab to Assam to Tamil Nadu and Kerala, West Bengal, rap and hip-hop musicians are getting more and more vocal. They are talking about subjects that people earlier were uncomfortable discussing, from deep caste dogmas to communalism to youth unemployment. Their music is getting more and more angsty. As you listen to this episode, several states, including West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, are going through their assembly elections. So I have invited two young and exciting artists to understand why they're feeling angry at today's politics. Joining me from Kolkata, Cizzy, also known as Rounok Chakraborty, and from Chennai, straight out of an all-night recording, we have none other than Arivu. Thank you guys for taking time out and joining us for this episode. Cizzy, I want to start by asking, how did you get into singing rap or hip-hop or writing those songs after being trained for years in Hindustani classical music? Also, I'm very intrigued to find out, did Kolkata always have a hip-hop scene?
Well, yeah, Kolkata always had a hip-hop scene. I mean, not always, but when I started, hip-hop scene was there. But rap was not discovered back then, like not to the extent that it is right now. I mean, most of us were still rapping in English because that's where we have all been inspired from. So, like one of the very first rappers from India, alias, he started in Kolkata and then he shifted to Bombay later, but he have been very vocal about like the political situation. He has been like one of the prior inspirations for a lot of people who came after him. So yeah, Kolkata had this hip hop scene for a while now. We had battle rappers like Hard Rock, 1AM. We had like a lot of various talented rappers. And the most important thing to remember here is it's not, even when we refer to it as Kolkata scene, it's not just Kolkata, it's not the metro city based thing. It's also West Bengal, because people are coming from everywhere in Bengal and they're bringing their authentic sounds with them, and they each have different stories to tell.
Lovely. Arivu, is that the same in Tamil Nadu, or is it still a very Chennai phenomenon, the hip-hop and the rap scene?
Okay, basically I am from a town called Arakonam, which is around 80 kilometers away from Chennai. Ever since before I got an opportunity to perform through the Casteless Collective, I had no idea about what hip-hop scene and all in Chennai. And I grew up in a suburban place where there is no hip-hop or no kind of, rap scenes and all happening here. But I grew up watching so many local folk artists So folk artists, especially the musical forms that are created by working people, like in the fields they will sing, in the places where they work they will sing.
Is this Ghana
So,
music?
especially Ghana comes from a place from North Chennai, but the traditional folk art forms are everywhere in Tamil Nadu. Like it varies to each and every geography. Like, in the central Chennai place, they will say it is a Ghana. And then if you come to Arakonam or if you come to another rural places, they will say it's a Nattupura Padal, which is a folklore, folk songs. But I grew up listening to these songs around me, and all these songs speaks about the life of working class people, their struggles and their problems. Every song will have messages, questions, and there's a lot of emotions. Like those songs were created by the people themselves. Like my grandmother, she used to like to sing some songs which she wrote, but she has never wrote it on a pen or paper. It's a oral literature kind of a thing. It's a oral art. So in that way, I got to listen to a lot of music. And after getting into engineering college, I got an opportunity to listen to rap songs through my friends.
Right.
So they played me so many rap songs. And in the very beginning, I tried to sing something through my voice. I had like a grudge kind of a voice, like growl voice. So I tried doing singing something through my voice. And my college bandmates, my friends only said, "Man, it sounds like rap. You can also become a rapper." And this is what is a rap is. And they introduced me to all the established rappers around the world, and I was very much amazed. Like they are doing the same thing on an international scale. So in that way, I got very much inspired. And after that, after finishing my college, I moved to Chennai, and then I got introduced to the rap scene in Chennai. So for me, the rap scene in Chennai is completely irrelevant from where I came from. In this 3 years of journey, I got introduced to so many rap artists from Tamil Nadu. Overall, South India, I got introduced to so many rap artists. And what I feel from my journey is that the rap scene in Chennai is already existing, but it is not political. Like the message that the international hip hop songs carried, or the song, the message that the Tupac said, or the message that like Notorious Big, those kind of content were not, like people here are more conditioned towards commercial art forms.
Correct.
Like they always want to play safe zone, but hip hop is not safe zone. It's like hip hop is like a tool to it's a protest art form basically.
Correct.
But every motive of the protest is to get justice. There is like no protest is happening just to create a riot. No, so in that way, I felt like the protest mindset or the questioning capability of hip hop is not like much celebrated in Chennai. In that way, rap for me was not my choice, but it happened, and my friends like they encouraged me to do this rap music. But only thing I had was poetry. Like I write poems about the things which affect me, the things which emotionally affect me and the people around me. Especially, I want to write about the problems of society. So in that way only I approached rap. So this is not a genre which I chose. It's a genre which fits my my ideologies.
I'll come to your music, especially because I was very surprised by the messaging and the directness of your messaging, especially when it came to castes. I mean, that is something that really, really fascinated me. But Cizzy, you were getting trained in classical music. I mean, from there to rap, what happened?
I mean, first of all, I would like to congratulate Arivu on this one specific sentence that he said, and I really agree with it. And I think all the artists should remember that they do have some responsibilities towards their art form, and they need to give it back. That responsibility is huge, and this is one thing that you always have to keep in your mind, like no matter which art form you are from.
True,
so
absolutely.
So that is one thing I really needed to put forward. And to answer your question, yes, I was trained in classical music. Then I went on to like semi-classical genres like Rabindra Sangeet, Brahmo Sangeet. I also got trained in folk music and a few instruments because I was trying to get into music production before I started rapping. But rap as a genre, I was introduced to it when I was producing for like 2 Anglo-Indian kids from Kolkata, and I was just making the music for them, and they had a lot of stories to tell, and that is how I was introduced to rap. And before that, the only time I heard rap was from Linkin Park. Mike Shinoda, because that band was huge in Kolkata even when I was growing up.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
yeah. So Linkin Park was one of the prior first influences that got me into the zone immediately, because I used to go to Akashvani when I was a kid, and I used to recite poems, and always had this this certain liking for rhythm, and poetry has always been that thing that I could always get back to whenever I need to put something out, whenever I need to say something. Poetry was that thing for me, and I finally found that place where I can fit myself perfectly. That delivery, that straight up, I could just say whatever I want to say. I don't need to think twice if people would think, if it's right, if it's wrong, all of that. I don't need to think about all of that at all. So this, cutthroat delivery and flow and the basic motive of this kind of hip hop music is what attracted me the most. And I was immediately drawn to it. So I think the flow was one of the first thing that I was really excited to hear. I could say something so fast that rhythm was something that I was really drawn towards. And then the next thing was obviously the lyrics and the content, where my poetry came in, where I was people already like what I'm saying just because of the rhythm that I'm saying it in. The motive that I'm putting the music in, they already like the groove of it. So if I can give something to them while I'm giving them something to enjoy, they're grooving to it anyway. So I can tell them something which maybe can make themselves think about something. They may start to question their own actions to some extent, and that might lead to a conclusion or a solution to our problems.
শুরু বিপ্লব as soon as the beat drops পাশে কোনো থাকলো জানি আছি হিপ হপ যত হুলিগানে বুলিগানে শুনি এটি কীর্তন চোট চোটটা বাটপাড়েরা রাজনৈতিক বীরসব চালিয়ে আছে সব চিকিৎসক শিক্ষক নিউজ স্কুলের
Yeah, I also like to think of rap musicians or us basically in general as an investigative journalist. 'Cause we are seeing a lot of incidents happen right in front of our eyes, which gets overlooked by a lot of people, and we can actually address them directly and talk about it. And I don't think that's enough, though. I don't think just talking about the problems are enough. I think it is important to show that we are a part of the problem, and we, as together, as a community, we can find a solution and we can move towards a brighter future. That has been one of my goals since the first time I started writing, the first time I picked up the pen.
I want to mention one more thing. I totally agree with what his brother said, because the today morning also on Instagram I posted one quotation of Nina Simone. She says, "I'll tell you what freedom is for me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear is what I posted today." So, as an independent artist, as brother said, we are doing it. It's more kind of an investigative journalism. I think we have more freedom to speak about the real problems that are happening on the street, and we can take any place as our stage. We can make anything as our lyrics and singing, and we can do our art is more democratized is what I feel. We can speak for anyone who is getting oppressed or anyone who needs a voice. The first voice will be from a poem or from from a writer only. It will pop out to the society. So in that way, I feel what brother said is what we are doing. I research for each and every topic, because since we handle this political current affairs and contemporary political issues, we mention those things on our songs. We need to be very, very careful on that, because if our voice gets suppressed, if we make a mistake, definitely there will be a big problem for the fellow youngsters who follow us and try to write like us or to try to do what we are doing. So in that way, an independent artist, we know that we are not going to earn much as a commercial artist, or we are not going to be celebrated or be accepted like a commercial, the pop culture artist. But what our art will do is it will definitely educate people. So through this education, there will definitely be a responsible future. The future youngsters will definitely be much aware of what's happening around them. In that way, what we are also doing is kind of a journalism kind of thing only. And coming to your question, the rap thing, it actually amazed me, because it has we can speak a lot of content in a shorter period of time. Is what is rap for me. I can completely convey you a total history within some 60 bars. If you go to a meeting or if you go to a college program or somewhere, people won't listen to you when you speak for 2 hours. Like if you rap
Correct.
it to 3 minutes, definitely there will be like, there will be so many punchlines on that rap. There'll be so many important points in that rap. It's like a bulletin presentation of a full research paper.
That's a very interesting point that you said, Arivu. You're part of a group which is called Casteless Collective. I've heard some of the songs, and where caste plays a very important role. People outside of Tamil Nadu would think that caste is no longer such a big deal in a state like Tamil Nadu. But are they wrong then? Is caste still very much deeply entrenched in Tamil Nadu politics and Tamil Nadu's people's psyche?
Yeah, definitely, because it just took into a new modern form. That's all. The caste, the caste mindset, or the benefits the people get from caste, or the atrocities that are based upon the caste privileges, are not yet over. Like it's a struggle of 1,000 years. It can't be, like we got the constitution just some 60, 70 years ago. But still now we are still facing a modern untouchability. We live in metro cities, but still the manual scavenger son is still manual scavenging. Still the caste has taken another form. Caste is also upgrading is what I feel. But why people is like nobody is ready to talk about this, because it gives them a comfort zone. If you skip a conversation, then it gives you an appreciation, like you can become friends without saying odd things, like without having a real conversation. Just like the songs also say like that, they will like slightly touch those topics and they will say everyone should unite, and they will make a song. But what's the point in me calling everyone to unite without even understanding what the problem is in the grassroots? So since I came from a rural village and I saw so many people, like I lost so many of my neighbors killed because of this, like caste atrocities and stuff. But since back then I was not aware that this is because of the caste they're getting killed. The caste understanding itself is completely ignored by the music industry or whatever. Like they just skip the reality. So in that way, as an artist, I definitely want to speak about this thing until the next generation, at least one life gets saved because of my songs or whatever.
That's truly amazing. Cizzy, you've grown up, I'm presuming, in a communist state which ruled, West Bengal and CPM for 34 years. Then there was a change of guard. And while growing up, you've seen a very politically volatile, also violence out in the open, in the main streets, not just in villages, but also in cities. What's making you angry and bothersome? And how is that, this change in the political landscape affecting your music?
Yeah, so basically, I grew up in a communist environment. Democracy is what we are believing in right now, but that whole ideology seems like a juxtaposition right now because of everything that's going around us. Because people are being, they're being made to think differently, right? They're being made to think unlike what they grew up thinking. Like, like we all grew up learning one thing, and now we are being told another thing, right? Right now, they're like, you don't know anything. Whatever you know is wrong. And we know the best. Ever since the whole propaganda happened here with Poriborton Chai, and I'll be straight up with it because I have been addressing these things very clearly since this happened. And 2007.
So sorry, Poriborton.
Yeah.
For the non-Bengalis is change, correct?
Yeah. Poriborton is change, and Poriborton Chai was specifically the campaign of TMC in 2007, and that is how they came to power, and they tried to show that everything that happened before it was wrong, and people have been, mistreated to some extent. But that the CPIM or the left front have been treating people wrong for all of these days, for 3 decades.
This is a state we've had Shingur, we've had Nandigram.
Yeah, TMC came in power in Bengal by showing that agriculture is something that is being hampered by the CPIM government, and they didn't want, any kinds of industries to take that spot, and that was the major reason why Singur and Nandigram and all that happened, and that got shifted. All of that money shifted from West Bengal to North Indian states and everywhere else, and that is where all this money went, and that has fueled the whole political mind whisperer, should I call it that? I mean, we used to call it Mogoj Dholai in terms of Satyajit Ray, and basically brainwashing, and that happened ever since the money went to the wrong people.
So are you then saying that, because of that, you feel that the youth, there's no job opportunities for them in the state?
Yeah,
and
because
there
they were driven away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And that's what makes you angry, that I'm a graduate, and I deserve a break in my city. Why do I have to go somewhere else for a job, right?
I mean, there are a lot of things that makes me angry, but I wouldn't blame the authority directly. The authority that I'm trying to blame are the people who elected the authority. This basically us. I mean, the problem lies within us. We are, if they're coming to us with a brainwashing machine, it's not up to us to go directly in and say that, please brainwash me. It's up to us to also use our knowledge and our understanding of our, immediate future, and to take inspiration from our history and experiences to understand what is right and what is wrong.
Got it.
Yeah.
But when kids who are, as I said, who are as young as a class 12 student,
yeah,
and you act as a compass for many of them, come to you and say, this is what's bothering me. Are they genuinely concerned, or is it now, quote unquote, fashionable to be a rap or a hip hop artist because, girls like it?
Well, it is indeed fashionable to be a hip hop star, but it is not fashionable to be an activist. So that is where the line gets drawn. I mean, you can be a hip hop star and you can still talk about, having a lot of lady friends and drinking a lot of booze, but you can only choose to be an activist, and you can only choose to speak for the right things.
Yeah, they will actually advise us in a friendly manner. If you speak this much politically, nobody will talk to you. No girls will come and talk to you.
Exactly.
Actually, warning for us.
You get bitten. Basically. Yeah.
But Arivu, people would say that Tamil Nadu or people outside Tamil Nadu really got to know about you after your collaboration with films. Yes. Massive budget. I mean, they are like massive banners.
Yes.
Big films, big budgets, etc. And then, now even the new single, which has become a massive sensation. Is that essential, that you have to work with the film industry to become more mainstream? In both Tamil Nadu, and also I'll come to West Bengal, because both has film state.
Okay, I can answer this question to you in a short manner, because especially this Tamil Nadu, this land, it's much obsessed with cinema industry. Like all the chief ministers you see are from cinema, like they are somewhere related to art and literature. It's what is celebrated here. Art is our full history itself is written through art. Okay. So what I feel is, as an independent artist, definitely we should use each and every opportunity to reach out people. But it is not easy to get an opportunity to work for a mainstream movie, on a big budget movie, or to write a song for a mainstream hero who is like maximum popular kind of a scene here. So in that way.
But do they, you may want to work, or they may also want to work, but then when you're in a project, do they want to make you write softer rap songs? Like, don't get too political, don't get too, angry. Tone it down. Do you face that?
Basically, so far I am writing for all kinds of genres, all kinds of moods. But while working for a movie, if there is an opportunity to write something political, definitely we should carefully place it there. We can't just we can't just dump our thoughts into a movie which nowhere related to what we speak. What are all the basic things I will always follow is, we should never body shame anyone through song, because it's easy to get claps through body shaming, or putting some sexist lines, or portraying women as a weaker.
But that's exactly. But that's my point.
It has a very big impact. Yes,
that is problematic. Isn't then hip hop artists themselves doing a great disservice to the whole genre and the entire community?
Yes. Because it creates a very big impact. No, if a small child, like 4 years old kid, memorizes a song, and if you if you portray a woman as a weaker gender through that song, definitely he's going to grow up trusting that. He's going to behave like a chauvinist to his own sister. So in that way, art is directly connected to the lives of people, and it becomes a character. So in that way, while I am writing songs, wherever I get opportunity, I'll be very careful that I choose song. Basically, I choose the songs which come to me. So some of the songs I will decently say that I don't want to be part of this song. I don't want to be. I think I can't do this. I will say like that. So
right.
That way I will be a work.
But Cizzy, how strongly do you feel about this? I mean, I'm shocked that it's getting from bad to worse.
Yeah. Because there is a reason to it. I mean, since you have addressed it, hip hop. The one of the prior things in hip hop was the fifth element of hip hop, which is knowledge. And the first thing that it says is you have to keep it real. And keeping it real can mean so many things. Like
Yeah.
I could say that Honey Singh was keeping it real when he was saying he's drinking 4 bottle vodka every day, because that might be his lifestyle, and he is keeping it real to that extent. But the responsibility of an artist is to choose which things he should say, and depending on the surrounding that he is living in. So that is one thing that one artist should always keep in mind. But the inspirations can come from anywhere. At the same time, there are a million other artists who are like fighting oppression, who are like putting in like day in and day out to talk about things which are really important. I'm always thinking of it this way, that people will get there one day. Whether it's just a theory of evolution, like according to Darwin, we will get there someday when we have that mindset to choose the right from the wrong. And that is where I think I'll keep going back to that, because it is up to the people. The power is with the people to choose. No one can make you choose something that you don't believe in.
Correct.
If people are choosing to listen to those songs, it's not just because those are marketed better. Those are also because people like to listen to those songs better right now. But just with evolution, we'll get there and we will learn to choose right there. But I think it's improving. It's improving a lot, at least in West Bengal.
Correct. Arivu, your recent track, Enjoy Enjaami, it's as political as it gets. So I'm very intrigued and want to know about the timing of the release. You knew this is election season in Tamil Nadu. Was the timing, the release on purpose? What was the whole idea of the song? If you could share it with us.
Definitely, it's not the idea to. It's not the plan to get it released before the election and all. This plan was going on for the past 1 year time period. So we decided to present this song in a celebration mode. Like, it's a celebration of life, celebration of earth, and we wanted to do this as an earth song kind of vibe. So since from the past 3 years, I traveled a lot to research about Opari, which is an art form which is done in the funerals, especially in South India. Like especially in death houses, they especially the women will sit in a round and they will lose out their hair and they will sing. They will lament about the dead person. So this art form is called Opari. So this art form also carried so many political messages to it. It spoke about the oppression. It spoke about the landlessness. It spoke about the life and struggle of their own geography. And in this celebration song, I wanted to put this add this Opari and convey some messages to it. So this is how this entire project started, and we wanted to make it as a celebration song so that everyone can enjoy and everyone can get relaxed from whatever situation they are in. And the funnier thing is, like, so many election campaigns used the song to remixed. Yeah.
So I was going through the translation. It is just fascinating. Can you sing that those two lines, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. அன்னக்கிளி அன்னக்கிளி அடி ஆலமரக்கிழவன்னக்கிளி நல்லபடி வாழச் சொல்லி இந்த மண்ணை கொடுத்தானே பூர்வ கூடி கம்மக்கர காணியெல்லாம் பாடி திரிஞ்சானே ஆதிக்குடி நாயி நரி பூனைக்குந்தா இந்த ஏரி கொலங்கூட சொந்தமடி எஞ்சாயி எஞ்சாமி வாங்கோ வாங்கோ ஒன்னாகி அம்மா ஏ அம்பாரி இந்தா இந்தா மும்மாரி.
Fantastic. Oh, loved it.
Thanks. Thank you, brother.
But the reason you're choosing not to sing in English and you're choosing to sing in your mother tongue, is there a hidden message there? Because a lot of people would argue English is a language of the privileged class, and was that a conscious effort as well?
No,
a conscious choice.
To be honest, I have never been taught good English during my school days. That's the problem. Right now, I'm very confident in speaking English. Definitely, there will be a point where I'm very confident in singing in English too. Definitely, I will try singing in English. Like not only in English, all the languages I want to make songs, because I don't think language is a barrier. I don't think language is not even a matter to convey my message. So in that way, definitely I would love to make one song in English. It's very, very comfortable for me to sing in Tamil, and it's the beauty of the language. It makes me do it again and again in Tamil.
Correct. But Cizzy, I don't know whether should call it the biggest, but your big number, for me at least, has been Change Hobe Puro Scene. But was this language issue also conscious decision for you?
Well, not unlike what Arivu has said, quite the contrary, because for me, it was indeed a social statement, the choosing of the language, because I started as an English rapper. I started with rapping in English, and then I shifted my language to Bengali because, first and foremost, Bengali as a language needed to prevail, because I grew up loving this language. I grew up reading a lot of literature in Bengali, a lot of poems, and I love my language more than any other languages that I have been personally introduced to. I mean, I am from like not the city. I'm from Howrah, not from Kolkata, but I lived in Kolkata all my life, ever since I got enrolled to my school. And there was always this classism that kind of, I felt it. I was a very distinct guy in my classroom because I used to always stay very obscure from everything that's going on in the classroom. And then I just used to observe things so that I can go back and start jotting them down. And that is where all the dreams come out. If you break my name out, that is the acronym for, when you see through my eyes, there's double Z. Double Z is basically signifies dreaming and like cartoons and shit. And why is the question. So it's like, if you see through my eyes, you see a lot of dreams. And the question is why. Like, keep asking. Like, the why is a very important question. It's important to ask why after any incident happens. Because if you don't ask questions, you will never find the answer. That is one of the major reasons why I chose to speak in Bengali, why I chose to represent my Bengali roots and who I am and where I am from. And it's more of a social statement than a political statement. But I just want to put my stand here and say that, yes, I am a Bengali and I'm proud of it. And I'm not disrespecting any other languages or any other, people out there.
All that we'll say is dream on, brother.
Yeah.
And
thanks, man.
But before you go, I mean, just like your friend or your brother from Chennai, we want, if you could also, any song, maybe my favorite is the Change Obviously.
Okay.
But any song of your choice, I'm sure all of us would like to listen to.
Okay.
A bit of it at least.
I'll do Change Over Puro Scene.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. ক্রিসমাস ট্রিতে পার্ক স্ট্রিট আর পাজামাটাতে ইলাস্টিক র‍্যাপ করি খুব ফাস্ট ঠিক যেন থ্রুসি বাই ওয়ান লাস্ট ট্রিপ সুযোগ পেলে গোটা ইয়াস্তিন আর গোটা 10-12 মারপিট আমি ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ার তাই মাথায় চট করে শর্ট সার্কিট হারকিপতে বাঙালি টাকা চাইলেই চোখ রাগানি এই 13 টাকা ভাড়া 10 টাকা সারা মাফ করো নেই ভাঙানি ঘুম পারেনি পুরো ঠাকুমার ঝুলি সেন্টিমেন্ট নিয়ে খেলে ডাঙ্গুলি বাঙালি 94 হয়ে গেল ক্রিকেট মানেই আজ গাঙ্গুলি ট্রাফিকে দাঁড়িয়ে কানেতে গান সব চিল জব তাকে যান বাবাকে লুকিয়ে ধূম্রপান স্টেডিয়ামে গিয়ে গলা ফাটান বাঙালি আমি মনে প্রাণে আমার গান যে শুনে জানে ক্লাস 1 থেকে বিটেক পাস পুরোটা বাংলা মিডিয়ামে
Wow,
that was
super, bro.
Super,
like full fire.
Super,
Thanks, man.
Full fire.
They call me Arivu, now the Uravu, equality than the Gen Kanavu. Ambedkar Periyar, Endraikkum Aliyar, En Paatai Koduthathu Pagutarivu.
Well, all I'll say is dream on and enjoy your music. It was lovely to have both of you on the show today. Fascinating stories, and thank you both for sharing them. We wish you the very best for your musical adventures for the days to come. My take, it's exciting to see how young talents have found their expression of rebellion through a new genre. New, at least in India. Topics that were so far taboo or simply not cool enough are no longer being brushed under the carpet. They are now popular chart busters. But as both our guests mentioned, artists must own up to their acts and music. It's unfortunate to see several popular hip-hop and rap stars performing very popular songs that sexualize women. Such misogyny is hugely problematic. I'm Arijit Burman, and you've been listening to The Morning Brief. This episode was edited by Anjali Venugopalan and coordinated by Bhavya Dilip Kumar. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. We look forward to your feedback. Write to us at themorningbrief@timesgroup.com. And if you like this episode, please share on your social media handles. We'd really appreciate it. The Morning Brief drops every Tuesday, Thursdays and Fridays. Thank you for listening and have a nice weekend. Goodbye and good luck.
alias.com